A combined petition with more than 500,000 signatures is going to be delivered to Downing Street later today. It urges the government to rethink its cuts to the winter fuel allowance, which, of course, have sparked huge backlash from pensioners, charities, unions, even the Labour Party membership at conference.
More than 750,000 low-income households who are eligible are set to miss out on the payment of up to £300. But many who don't meet the criteria still say that they're going to suffer without it. Delivering the petition today, Rob Trewhella, who is a familiar face to viewers of this programme. He came in not long ago explaining that he has to drive a taxi part-time to make ends meet because he's just a couple of pounds above the pension credit threshold. And Jennie Leggett has signed the petition he's handing over because she also misses out on the payment by just a few pounds.
If I had the winter fuel allowance, I would turn it on.
Of course you would. Yeah.
Because, you know, it helps. The heating bills are ridiculous. And with the changes this month, you know, it's even more money. Yeah, I'm fortunate that I can still work. I won't be working forever, that's for sure. But, you know, there's many, many people who need this money.
Yeah. The thing about putting on extra layers, Jennie, coming to you, is you can put on as many cardigans as you like. That's not going to save you from problems.
No, it's not. I've got
a
lung condition and a heart condition.
Right.
And that is actually affected by the air I breathe in.
The temperature of the
air. If that's cold, I'm going to be ill. And I know that because 2 years ago, when all the fuel prices shot up, I ended up with a debt of over £1,000 and I had to turn the heating off. My husband's poorly as well.
Right.
The anxiety that I thought I was going to die. I know it sounds dramatic, but I just could not get warm. And I can't move about very well. And I now have this huge anxiety that I'm going to end up back in that situation again.
So what will you do?
I honestly don't know. We're going to have to maybe put the heating on. I'm worrying all the time about what we're spending. Like Rob, I don't work, I can't work. I'm worried about, well, do I buy this, do I buy that? Everything I buy has to be in a sale or reduced. I've got food allergies, so my shopping, I can't just go and buy pizzas or whatever. So it is a constant anxiety. And one of the things that I'm told about my medical conditions is avoid stress.
And this is adding stress.
Oh, God, it's awful. Well, I read somewhere recently that our Prime Minister has got a very fixed course and that he's not going to be diverted by side winds. So I strongly suspect that we're seen as a side wind. And I just hope that the people in this country will build that up to tempest level, not be a side wind, so that people are going to have to listen.
That's so interesting. Yes, he mentioned that exact phrase in an interview he did this week.
And my ears sort of went, dong, I'm a side wind, we're side winds.
Yes, but side winds, as you say, I mean, Rob, they can get very strong.
Oh, most certainly.
And you're hoping that, you know, you're kind of leading the charge there, handing over the petition. When you look at your finances, what would make you eligible for pension credit? I mean, how much over the threshold are you weekly?
£2.80.
Oh.
And because of that, you miss out on £200 of winter fuel allowance.
It doesn't help that I still work, but I wouldn't have been eligible because of me doing a few hours.
Yeah.
However, if I wasn't working, I still wouldn't be able to get it.
What do you say to those people who might say, look, you know, we understand and it's a shame, but there are plenty of people who could still work, can still earn their own money, and therefore should not be using money that could be better spent elsewhere, your £200 winter fuel allowance.
Absolutely.
If you can still drive a taxi, then that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Keeps you employed. You know, and therefore you're contributing and we can use your money for someone else.
I mean, I've been paying tax and national insurance for 52 years.
How old are you now?
I'm 68.
Right, you've been paying all your life?
All my life.
Yeah, and this is how it ends up?
Yes. I never thought I'd see this.
No, I bet you didn't. He's £2.80 over the limit.
I'm probably somewhere along there.
About
I've got a minuscule... I get a full pension because I was just a post-war baby. I'm 75 in a few weeks' time. And we paid an enormous amount to rebuild this country. I grew up playing on bomb debris. I'm not joking. And I've got a full pension because I worked through... I was fortunate enough to go to uni in the end. I worked through everything. My pregnancies, illness, the works. My reward for that is that I get a full pension, which is £220 odd a week. And I get a tiny work-related pension, which I now pay £31, £35 a month on, which leaves me from that £135 a month, not a week. So add those together, I'm still not on a living wage, a living annual wage, and I've got no means of increasing my income.
The thing is, when I hear these figures quoted from people in your position, £2.80, sometimes £1.95, you're talking about 3 or 4 apples. You're talking about a glass of lemonade in a pub.
That's right.
Or a cup of coffee in a cafe. That's all we are talking about in terms of the value of that money. It's peanuts, it's pennies, but it has this direct and fateful effect. Well, look, you're going to hand this petition over today. You won't obviously see the Prime Minister. Just imagine he was here now, sitting at the end of the desk here, listening to you, and we were to say to you, OK, what do you want to say to Mr Starmer?
Well, Mr Starmer, I think you're doing a grand job. You're encouraging people to buy nice suits and glasses, and you're going to see Taylor Swift, and, you're doing a great job. But can you think about the people who have put you there, who have voted for you, believing... I didn't vote for them, but, that people have voted for them because they're believing that Labour are the party for the people.
And what would you say to him?
I think he needs to think very carefully. He might think we're all going to die off eventually and stop being nuisances to him, and he's not worried about our vote. But we have families, we have friends. There are hundreds of thousands of people that are going to be looking at how he treats pensioners, and they're going to consider very carefully how they vote at the next election. And I've been a Labour voter all my life. I had relatives who went to jail years ago for supporting Labour and trades unions. I'm like a stick of rock with Labour through the middle. Did you vote Labour last time? Yeah, and I'm not going to do it again. I feel that this is the thin end of the wedge, and I think he's coming after pensioners, and I'm extremely worried. Well, good luck this afternoon.
Can I just say,
yes.
I'd like to thank you all here who've, you've campaigned for us, which, I'm certainly appreciative of it, and I know that the charity Independent Age that I'm with are very grateful for what you've done.
Well, that's kind of you to say thank you. I'm not sure whether it's a campaign so much as just providing a platform.
Just reporting.
For
what's happening.
For what is happening. And I'm always concerned about unintended consequences. That you put in a means test limit threshold. We all know there are millionaire pensioners out there, multi-millionaire pensioners out there. It's not people like you. And where you've gone just over the threshold, we know there are a couple of million who are going to be caught up in this, who are already, experiencing close to poverty. And it just feels like the government needs to hear those voices, and that's,
My generation doesn't really protest anymore. No. They kind of still have. I belong to various online groups. They either complain, but are too frightened, actually, to take action, or they just have this respect for authority, and they say, let's wait and see what happens.
Well, let's wait and see what happens when you hand in the...
Pensioners can't strike, can they?
No.
No.
All right, thank you both very much for coming all this way. We should say that a spokesperson from the Department of Work and Pensions has told this programme over 1 million pensioners will still receive the winter fuel payment, and our drive to boost pension credit take-up has already seen a 152% increase in claims, and they point out other schemes to help some people with their bills, but it ain't going to help you.
No.
They're not going to make the 1.4 billion savings either, are they?
We'll see what happens in the budget and what the OBR says about that. Thank you both very much indeed. Such an important issue, and we'll stay on it